Memories Pizza continues to deal with backlash as a result of their comments indicating that they refuse to serve pizzas at a gay wedding. Well, just to give you some examples of the backlash that they're facing, people have completely bombarded their Yelp page with negative Yelp reviews. Some of them are funny, some of them are nasty, but at this point they only have 1 star, and Yelp is planning on taking the reviews down. I want to give you a few of the examples, though. One person writes, "Being gay is not a choice. However, being a disgusting bigot certainly is. Shame on this establishment. I hope it goes out of business." And another person says, whenever I'm in this hick town and I want to cram 12 inches of sausage or beef down my throat, I go to Memories Pizza. Now,
that ain't right.
On April 1st, which is the day that this story made national headlines, someone also purchased the domain name memoriespizza.com. So what did that lead to? Well,
shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Trust me. So let me give you a few examples of that. All right. The person who bought this, we don't know who it is. It was basically bought through GoDaddy, posted this, home of the dick pizza. Forget everything you know about pizza. The Memories Dick Pizza is loaded with over 48 inches of hearty meat. Only $6.66. I get what they're doing there. I like that. Okay. Pizza toppings are hilarious too. The report that I read from ifyouonlynews.com said pizza toppings are limited, but as repressed sexual urges are an option, this pizza should be popular with Catholic clergy, the Tea Party, and quite probably Governor Pence himself. And then they also posted some softcore pornographic stuff. Hot guys kissing, making out. And then they quoted Crystal O'Connor as saying, "I love the gays." And there are the toppings: cheese, sausage, the big thick kind, pepperoni, discrimination, repressed homosexual urges.
Right. I think it's time to ease up on these folks.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my reading of how all this came about. A local news crew came into the pizza shop, maybe because they had some religious stuff on the walls, and they asked them, would you serve a gay wedding? These guys didn't, as far as I saw all the news reporting, didn't pop out of the woods and go to their local news station and be like, we're not going to serve them pizza, we hate them, right? They were asked, and they're like, I don't know, we're Christians, so no, I guess we wouldn't serve them pizza if they wanted it at their wedding, right? Now, they made some stupid comments. We covered that on the show yesterday. They don't get that they're being discriminatory. But my sense is that, like a lot of Americans, this is what they got taught at church. And so this is their reflexive reaction, right? Now, part of this whole process is figuring out that reflexive reaction is not correct. That gay Americans are just like everyone else, and you should treat them with decency. But at the same time, like, the dick pizza's funny, etc. You want to go for 24 hours, 48 hours, all right? But then I would throttle back.
Dial it back a little bit.
Dial it down. We're at a 10. We need to be at a 2. Have a little bit of fun, but don't go after these guys too aggressively. Honestly, there but for the grace of God could have gone a huge percentage of Indiana, a huge percentage of the country, maybe a minority at this point, but still a huge percentage.
Absolutely. And I think that when it comes to situations like this, again, I've said it before when we originally covered the story when it broke, you can't fight this kind of hatred with hatred. The best way to deal with it is, of course, speak your part, make sure that you let these people know where you stand and why what they're saying is hateful and ignorant. But getting to a point where you start harassing them or sending them violent threats, that goes way too far. And they have gotten a lot of violent threats. And
that's what they say. I mean, I haven't seen any...
I believe it. I totally believe it. We're talking about the internet. Again, you scratch your ass the wrong way on the internet and people lose their shit, okay? People are going to
say... that makes some degree of sense, but okay.
All right.
Anyway, now in this case, they claim they're in hiding.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, I mean, I could be wrong because I haven't seen the specific threats. They're not in any of the articles, right?
Yeah.
But I would also ask them to calm down.
Okay.
There isn't going to be a gay posse that comes down there and does harm to you. I would be dramatically surprised. Look, it's our job here to say, as Anna just pointed out, never, ever, ever use force. Don't threaten violence. Don't talk about violence. That's not the right thing to do. You don't fight hate with hate, right? So I say they've had enough at the pizza joint. Let it go. And for the guys in the pizza joint, just calm down, okay? You don't have to be in hiding. You don't have to run to the Vatican or whatever you want to go.
Look, I don't blame them.
Go home and then make pizza.
I don't blame them for thinking that they are going to deal with a serious threat because they don't live in our world, right? Where you get threats like this on a regular basis and you realize that it's usually an empty threat, right? In their case, they're not used to being public figures. They're not used to getting this type of torment and hatred online. And so when you get those threatening messages, you think, oh my God, these people are really out to get me. One threat actually went to prosecutors in Indiana. So apparently it seemed realistic enough for authorities to get involved. So that's what I'm referring to. Everyone calm down. Look, they are hateful in what they said, right? At the very least, they're discriminatory, but they don't even realize it. And so you don't change people's mindsets by going after them in any type of threatening or violent way.
Yeah. And just because you said it on the internet doesn't mean that it's not legally actionable. The internet is not like Guantanamo Bay where there are no laws, right? So if you make violent threats to someone, that's illegal, so don't do that.
Yeah. By the way, the Blaze set up a GoFundMe account for them. And so far, they raised over $200,000.
Oh my God!
Based on the last thing that I checked. So
oh my
at
God.
this point, they probably raised even more. So there is an upside here for the pizza owners.
They got to be ecstatic. They were probably, like you said, scared in the beginning. And when they saw that crust rising, all of a sudden they're making a lot of dough, and they're thinking, oh, yes, this is so much better than the pizza thing we had going. Unfortunately, I'm afraid now that that's going to encourage them the wrong way. Like now other people are going to pop out of the woodworks and be like, oh, yeah, I'm not making subs for gay people. No way I'm making a burger for them. You raised me $200,000. And look, everybody in the story's got to calm down. I can't believe conservatives are like, yeah, you don't like gays either. Here, take my money.
Yeah. Look, there are two sides to this story. Over $200,000. By the way, their original goal was like $40,000 or something.
No, I think it was $25,000.
Oh.
They blew past it, and everybody's like, oh, here comes a pile of hate money. Yay!